Hello Internet, I'm David and this is the Pursuit Blog, and this is the first episode of my reviews for this summer. Now, a few weeks ago I told you all that I wanted to start reviewing movies, music, and TV shows. This is the Pursuit Blog, and in the Pursuit Blog we look at faith, life, and pursuit, and I think what we watch and listen to affects who we are as people, so I think it is important that we look at what is popular and what people are watching and listening to. Not to mention movies and TV shows are like my hobby. I love watching a good movie, a good TV show, and talking about it with people afterwards. And in each review, I'm going to look at 4 different areas. The content's artistic value, the spiritual themes that are present, the moral content, and the entertainment factor. So let's go. Now, I just got back from vacation, so I haven't been able to get to the theater recently, but while on vacation, I did pick up Act of Valor on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, this is a movie that I saw in the theater when it came out, and I was greatly impressed. The plot is that it's a Navy SEAL team, that they actually use real Navy SEALs in the movie, so they weren't having to train actors how to use guns and move like actual soldiers, because these were actual soldiers. There was a sense of realism about it that I've not seen in other war movies. And these Navy SEALs are trying to prevent a terrorist attack as jihadists are sneaking in through Mexico to suicide bomb places in the United States. So it is a high action thriller that once it starts, it really doesn't stop. But first, let's look at the artistic value. The movie is shot on a Canon 5D, which is a DSLR, and the visuals are stunning. It gives it a documentary style feel, so you really feel like you're embedded with these people. The cinematography is great. They got shots that only a DSLR really can get. It was beautiful to watch. Although, artistic value, the acting was rather poor. Now, like I just said, these were real Navy SEALs, and real Navy SEAls are not real actors. So the dialogue is somewhat cheesy between the Navy SEAls, although everybody else in the movie were real actors. So if you can look past that, the movie is really good. Unfortunately, there's so much action, there's not that much dialogue, so they kind of cut through all of that. Next is the spiritual themes. There was a few lines, a few moments in the movie that really stood out to me as something that had spiritual worth and value. As the Navy SEALs are gearing up to ship off for this mission, one of the men tells the rest of the squad that they need to get everything right with their family, that they may not be coming back. And that if there is unbalance in their home life with their wife, with their kids, with their parents, whoever, it's going to throw off everybody else in the group. I think that has a lot of practical application for us, that we need to make sure that stuff at home is taken care of, that our relationships are smoothed over, that we've forgiven people, that we've asked for forgiveness, we've taken care of all of the things that are going to distract us. At the end of the movie, there was a poem read by Tecumseh, and I want to read you just a brief bit of it. It was incredible, and it almost brings you to tears as they are reading this in the context of the movie. So live your life that the fear of death may never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and its purposes in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. The poem goes on, but I really love that poem. Respect people, do things for others. And it goes on to say, when it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. I love this idea to live your life so that you're not afraid of death, that you are ready for death, that you don't look back on your life and say, man, I have a whole lot of regrets. Great stuff. The moral content in the movie. Now, this is a war movie, so that means that there is violence. And, though I grew up in a military culture, so I could appreciate all of the ins and outs of this movie, the older I get, the more of a pacifist I become, but I still believe in Ecclesiastes where it says there is a time for war and a time for peace. So there's something inside of me that says, I think this is necessary, though I still abhor the fact that we have to go to war, that we're living in a situation where there are terrorists who are trying to kill us. I think this movie handles it in such a way that it does beg that question, that it does make you think a little bit about the necessity for war. Next week, I'm going to be sitting down with a good friend of mine who just wrote a book on Christian nonviolence, and we're going to have a discussion about this. Uh, is there ever a time for war? So stick around for that. And lastly, the entertainment factor. This movie, it starts off a little slow as they're trying to set up the storyline, but about 30 minutes in, the action starts and it really doesn't stop. Sitting in the theater, I was sitting on the edge of my seat because I didn't know how the movie was going to turn out. It was not something that I could see well in advance. The action was incredible. It was intense. It was violent. There's lots of big guns, and if you like that type of stuff, you will really enjoy Act of Valor. I highly encourage you to rent it, if not purchase it. Now, some claim that this movie is nothing more than a propaganda film for the United States military, and I can see that criticism, but I just really enjoyed the movie. And for me, I'd probably give it maybe a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. So make sure you check out Act of Valor. It is rated R, very little language, a few F words. It's more rated R for violence, but it was very realistic. It wasn't gratuitous violence, but it was very realistic in how these men do their jobs. If you've seen the movie, let me know what your thoughts are and comment down below. I look forward to that. I will see you again next week. God bless.